Dante Banks Jr., known to his family as Booney and to fans of his brother Lil Durk as Dthang, was born.
R.I.P. Dthang. I remember seeing the post of Durk when he posted about it when he died. Damn, this shit is crazy. Like, all this shit is mad recent. Like, happened within the last half a decade. Like, this shit is insane.
Born on September the 15th, 1989. According to their mother's memoir, Dthang was in many ways the polar opposite of his brother Durk, who was known as a wild child. However, Dthang also had a short temper, which would often get him involved in fights, and as he grew older, he would also begin to spend a lot of time with older guys from the block, who were hanging out near their home on the corner of 72nd and Green, this area being associated with a local gang known as Dog Pound. Durk was seemingly always close with the Dog Pound crew, but likely due to his closest friends being from Lamron and Taytown, he would also spend more time in that area, despite living in the Dog Pound's hood. Dthang wasn't the only one in Durk's family tree who was claiming Dog Pound, as his late cousin and OTF artist Newski, who was seemingly very close with Durk and Dthang throughout his childhood, would also claim this set, while also being closely affiliated with another set called Face World 079. Even the music video for Durk's first nationwide hit, This Ain't What You Want, was filmed in the Dog Pound's hood, as can be seen from the street sign of Green Street at the beginning of the video. Growing up, Dthang would have two best friends, Chino and SB, who were both from the eastern side of the south side, with at least Chino allegedly being part of the THF 46 gang set located in the so-called low end. After graduating from high school, Dthang would move to Iowa together with Chino and SB for work, but while being there, Durk would begin to send them songs that he was making, such as the track Lamron Wasted, which would begin to garner attention in Chicago, as SB would later explain during a DJU interview. He would be the one to tell Durk to move away from simply freestyling his lyrics and shouting out all his friends and affiliated sets to actually making more meaningful lyrics that people from all over could relate to.
I'll never forget, Durk would start sending us songs. You know what I'm saying? Him and his homie Isaac, they were sending us records. I'm like, damn, this is really dope. I'm like, damn, you really got this. You know what I'm saying? And then before you know it, over just progressing, he kept recording records. I used to be on this, like, you know, he used to always want to shout his guys out, shout everybody from the hood, the lamb, you know. Now he's always telling like, blood, the world don't know these. It's cool.
And they don't need to know these niggas. They need to remain nameless, bro. If you finna stay in the streets, these niggas need to be nameless. Ain't nobody need to know who these niggas is. They need to be ghosts, bro. They need to be ninjas. They need to be operating from the shadows.
Shout these down, but you gotta start making real music. Start having real songs. Like, I'm tired of every song hearing about your guys.
And after Durk's career would begin
Funny
to
yourself for that. Oh God. Hey, but you know what? That's a real nigga, bro. He really telling him some shit to elevate his music, bro.
flourish between 2011 and 2012, Durk would get Dthang, Chino, and SB and invite them all to join his musical venture, and the four would start the OTF label, something that was actually documented in a noisy documentary that covered the come-up of these young music moguls. Unfortunately, almost since the start, OTF would experience some major setbacks. In May 2014, only a few days after signing his deal with the label, Durk's cousin Newski, aka Nunu, real name MacArthur Swindle, would be gunned down in Chicago, and as was the custom at the time, DJ Academics would soon report on Newski's death in his highly sarcastic style as part of his War in Chirac YouTube series.
It's your boy DJ Academics. Restart the first 48 clock, start pressing up RIP t-shirts, because I gotta ask, is there heaven for a Chirac savage? It is with great sadness, great shock, great disbelief that I have to announce that OTF Nunu has been caught lacking at the mall and is now deceased. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please be warned, the following story is very graphic in detail and the involved is at maximum levels.
Following Newski's passing, some of his friends would begin to call themselves Newski Gang or Newski World in his honor. Many of these friends seemingly residing particularly in the Face World 079 hood. Newski's killer has never been caught, but online drill detectives have commonly held one man in particular responsible, this being 051 Melly, one of the most infamous people in drill music history.
I think they got that nigga too.
While practically being from different sides of the South.
Bro, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of all the Durk songs and Von songs that I heard. Melly, what they say? Melly got the heart of shaking. Nah. I know I'm not tripping. Yeah, I think it was Melly's funeral. Yeah, I think it was Melly's funeral that Wolf got shot, which is why he's in the shit that he's in now. Melly got shot in the party. Started out Harlem shaking. I know. I'm telling you, I remember these bars, nigga. I'm not celebrating this shit. I'm just saying I remember the bars, nigga. They stick in my head like glue, nigga. Pause.
Side, Durk being from Lamron and Melly being from 051 Young Money, Durk had ultimately gotten involved in a serious beef with Melly's set through.
Whoa! First of all, they caught L.A. Capone's killer? I didn't know that. You said his name is Lil who? Who is this guy? Lil Mick. It's all this Lil shit, bro. I feel Big Sean when he said like, fuck Lil, bitch, I'm big, nigga. This big JoJo, not Lil JoJo. This big, what's his name? This big Mick, not Lil Mick. This big Mick. I'm the big homie. Fuck. 05, Lil Mick. What? He's still alive? Yo, holy shit. Oh shit. That nigga's still alive, bro. I thought they got that nigga. Okay, so these must be the people. These must be the bodies. The people who caught the bodies must be this number. Because L.A. Capone, I'm pretty sure L.A. Capone would have been 600 because he walked with Chief Keef and Dirk and them. So L.A. Capone would have been 600. So 051 would be Lil Mick. And yeah, that makes sense because he's 051 Lil Mick.
I'm kind of retarded.
Affiliated sets, such as 600, who were in a deadly beef with 051 at the time. There'd also been some people killed in the dispute between Lamron and 051 even before Newski's passing, with a Lamron member called OJ allegedly having been involved in the murder of an 051 member called Fathead, together with 600 members in 2012, while 051 on the other hand had allegedly killed Dirk's good friend and a member of Lamron called Lil Rob in 2013. Melly's friend and 051's top rapper, Lil Mark, would also directly diss Lamron and Dthang in his March 2014 remix of Dirk's
Pretty sure Lil Mark got caught up too.
song Competition, titled No Competition.
And when I'm saying caught up, I mean that nigga got caught lacking. That's what I mean.
Rapping how he was smoking Tasky Pack, whom Dthang was named after, as well as Lil Rob, before saying that he's 300k and Die L's, with L of course standing for Lamron. Only days after dropping the diss song, Lil Mark would be tragically killed at a bus stop, allegedly.
I'm telling you, bro, I'm tapped in, bro. No, I do not be on these Chiracology Reddit pages, bro. Although I need to be. I need to get on that shit. Bro, I be remembering names, bro. Like, if a name sound a little too familiar and I don't know who they are, they're dead. Like, who was that one nigga? The K Dre. What's his name? K Dre? Who was that? KTS Dre. That's what his name is. KTS Dre. I knew I wasn't tripping. I was like, bro, there's some nigga named Dre. I remember his face. He had like freckles all over his shit. This nigga. God damn. Yeah, he got shot right outside the prison when he got out of jail. I remember all these niggas. He was beefing with Vaughn. That was July 10th, 2021. So that's 3 years ago. Damn, bro. That shit crazy.
By Lil Durk's friends, one of these rumored to have been King Von himself. And after this, Durk would diss Lil Mark in 600 rapper E-Day's remix to the song War, saying how he was smoking on him. Durk would also film a highly disrespectful video of himself at that very bus stop.
Ah, fuck. That's a no. That's the I thought when he made that video he was at the Tuca bus stop. What the fuck, nigga?
Where Mark had been killed. Newski had also gotten into an online beef with Melly's good friend and Durk's former friend Mubu Crump, who had a bitter falling out with OTF sometime in 2013. And following Newski's death, Crump would film himself at Newski's death site, even saying that he was at the scene with Newski's killer, making many believe that this person was indeed Melly.
I mean, Newski. They left his right here. I'm with the did. He don't want to be on camera though.
Less than a year after Newski's death, OTF would suffer another major blow, as OTF Chino, real name Uchenna Aguina, would be gunned down in March 2015, while sitting in his car outside of a fast food spot in the 8400 block of Stony Island Avenue.
This is what I be saying, bro. This type of shit right here is exactly why I would never be in the streets. I don't care about the money. I don't give a fuck about that damn respect, bro. I'd rather show you how to show me respect by making bread and getting the fuck up on out of here and flexing on you hoe ass niggas than having to kill y'all niggas and lose my life one way or the other. Either I'm dead or I'm in jail for the rest of my life. Like these OTF niggas, man. Lil Durkus is not getting out, bro. How do I tell you, bro? He better get the best lawyer on planet Earth, because that's the only way his ass even has a shot of seeing the sun outside of bars. You crazy? That nigga's cooked. The Rico? Hey, bro. They get a Rico on your ass, you're as good as done. The fuck?
After he had taken part in an anti-violence event, Newski and Chino's deaths were devastating for Dthang, as he would often let his followers know on social media. Chino's murder also remains unsolved, but once again, the same—
Damn! This is shit I be talking about, bro. I couldn't live in a foot, bro. I don't know about you, bro. I couldn't live in a place where they couldn't even solve murders, bro. Like, I need to know that if I at least get clapped, bro, the nigga who clipped me gonna get got. They gonna arrest that nigga and throw the book at his ass. I need to know that at least. Could you imagine being Chino, bro? Wherever you is, I'm not gonna speak on that. I don't know your religious background and your relationship with the one true God, Jesus Christ. But yeah, let's just be positive. Let's say he loved Jesus and Jesus loved him and took him in his arms and shit. And he in heaven right now. Bro, could you imagine? I mean, I guess you wouldn't really care. You in heaven, but I mean, like, still, I'd be sick as fuck. Damn, y'all gonna get this nigga or what? He's right there. Nah, I'd be mad.
Two people, Melly and Crump, would be associated with the hit, with Crump being the one to diss Chino the hardest, again, going to the murder location and—
Crump. How does that name sound so familiar? Yep, Crump was doing all that wolfing. Crump got killed. I said it, bro. I told you, bro. If I know the name and I'm not sure where I heard it, Ooh, you might have been a pack, my boy. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get into it like that, but you might have been a pack, my boy, because Crump was doing all that woofing. He ain't even make it. Melly got shot in the party, started Harlem shaking. There was another one. It might not have been. No, there was. Bet Wooski feel this one. I bet Wooski's still twitching. Because Wooski was the one. I said wolf. The fuck? They was woofing. But it was Wooski who got shot at. I think it was Melly. Nah, well, it can't be. Well, it can't be Melly because Melly's still alive, ain't it? No, Melly's dead. Melly's dead, isn't he?
I'm kind of retarded.
Damn, he would have been 32. Holy. Bro, these niggas is really kids out here doing this shit. That's crazy.
Asking the cashier at the food shop if they had an order for Nooski, calling his meal of choice the Chino Burger.
Hey, y'all got that order for Nooski? Chino Burger. Chino Burger.
Meanwhile, only a few days after Chino's murder, Melly would tweet a tribute to his fallen friend Lil Mark, together with a cryptic line that indicated that Melly had gotten some kind of get back for Mark. Melly was also fond of dissing both Nooski and Chino on social media, and he too would join in on Crump's burger joke during one of his Instagram lives.
Just like me a piece. Yeah, Chino Burger. That's what they said.
Crump would continue dissing Nooski and Chino, sometimes aiming his words directly at Dthang, commenting under his tribute post to Chino in 2017 how Dthang was the reason that Chino was dead, while Lil Durk was the reason that Nooski was dead. Clearly, Durk and Dthang were big targets for their enemies in the streets who had already killed people close to both of them. According to Durk and Dthang's mother, Dthang himself would end up getting shot twice between 2016 and 2017, but little is known about these incidents. Fortunately, he would seemingly survive both events with relatively little injuries. Mubu Crump, however, wouldn't be so lucky, and in May 2018, he would meet his end as he was gunned down in front of a house party during a drive-by shooting, where Melly would allegedly also get hit, but survive. The killers have never been caught, but the most popular theory online, surprisingly, points to the rivals of OTF, particularly a member of the STL EBT set called Can't Get Right, aka Get Right or Man Man. Another STL member, the infamous shooter Wooski, was allegedly later caught with Crump's murder weapon. However, this claim has seemingly been debunked by the YouTuber Loyalty and Betrayal.
Let's just be clear. Wooski was never arrested with a gun. He was arrested because he shot somebody in the leg twice.
After Durk's recent arrest for the murder for hire plot, some Reddit detectives have raised a question whether Crump's murder could have also been organised by Durk, with one Redditor pointing particularly to Durk's December 2020 song called Red Man, where Durk first speaks about his pain after the death of Nooski before rapping a now jaw-dropping line where he seems to predict ending up in federal prison in 10 years' time. Durk then mentions how people are asking him what he'll do about someone whose name is bleeped out, but what sounds like he could be mentioning Crump, to which Durk simply responds by saying the other person is already dead. However, these lyrics are vague at best and hardly evidence of anything other than Durk's impressive ability to foresee his future in federal custody. Unfortunately, only a few months after the death of Mubu Crump, Durk would experience yet another loss that would hit very close to home, as his cousin Darnell Banks, better known as OTF Baby D, was killed in a shooting in the far south side of Chicago in October 2018. But this wasn't the whole story, as Baby D was not alone at the time of the shooting, but allegedly with Dthang, whose age at the time matches that of one of the victims reported by local news, as well as another 32-year-old man. The trio would reportedly get ambushed in a McDonald's parking lot shortly before 3 a.m., all of them sustaining multiple gunshots.
I'm recognizing a pattern, bro. There's a pattern with you young niggas, bro. What the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? Well, y'all think y'all out here, you know what? I don't even care. Look, it feel like the same thing that happened with Kobe. No Limit Kobe. This is the same shit that happened to Kobe. I don't see no picture of him. So G Herbo's little homie, or homie, I wouldn't say little homie, Kobe, he basically had the same shit happen to him in a way. Like, and same with KTS Dre, I think. KTS Dre, that was before he got killed. He was like merching all up and down the fucking street just looking for ops. He was making YouTube videos and some more shit. But Kobe, he was hanging out with the crew, he was hanging out with the guys, the No Limit guys. He's like, all right, bro, I'm gonna piece it out, I'm gonna go home. The guys was like, I'm talking like I'm one of them. But nah, the guys was like, they was like, oh, you need me to drop you off? He's like, nah, I'll walk it. Nigga walked home. They never saw that nigga again. He got killed. It's the same shit. Like, why y'all niggas doing this dumb shit? Why don't you move like there's Nick? How the fuck I'm not involved in the streets and I move like niggas is trying to kill me more than you niggas do? That shit don't make no damn sense.
Shot wounds.
I move like I'm fucking 007 in this bitch.
Thankfully, Dthang would end up surviving once again, together with the 32-year-old man. In her memoir, Dthang and Durk's mother would confirm him being one of the victims of the shooting, writing how this had been one of the most serious out of all of the shootings killings that Dthang had survived, and how Baby D's death would leave him heartbroken. Baby D's murder would go unsolved, but Melly's name would once again begin to ring in online speculations, as photos would begin to circulate of one of Baby D's cousin wearing a "Long Live Baby D" shirt with a large F Melly text boldly printed on the front, together with a picture of him. Durk would also seemingly begin to diss Melly often in his songs following Baby D's death, like saying how there is one special op that they haven't killed yet in his July 2019 song Like That, or even specifically addressing the person who killed his cousin in his August 2019 song Die Slow, this likely being a reference to either Newski or Baby D, while seemingly giving an order to his guys to make sure that he dies slowly. Shockingly, exactly 1 month after the release of this song, 051 Melly would be killed on the south side of Chicago while attending
Melly got shot in the party, started all them shaking.
a house party at the 6100 block of St. Lawrence Avenue, this being in the hood of the Jaro City and Taekwon World sets.
Damn,
but
he was
despite the
at home.
peculiar timing, Durk would seemingly have nothing to do with Melly's death, as his killer would allegedly turn out to be someone with a personal vendetta against Melly, a Taekwon World member called 007 Nate, real name Nathaniel Hicks, whose house Melly had allegedly shot.
That's hilarious, bro. I just said something about being 007.
I move like I'm fucking 007 in this bitch.
That nigga's name is 007 Nate. I'm fucking dead. Not literally though, I'm still alive.
Do with Melly's death, as his killer would allegedly turn out to be someone with a personal vendetta against Melly, a Taekwon World member called 007 Nate, real name Nathaniel Hicks, whose house Melly had allegedly shot up leading up to the killing. However, the evidence against Nate would ultimately not meet the burden of proof beyond reasonable doubt, and despite the facts that he was apparently identified as the shooter by multiple witnesses, and seen entering the house with a gun and then fleeing the house after the shooting, and being eventually caught a few days later with the murder weapon still on him, it didn't stick. Now, if that's not a sign that you can get away with murder in Chicago, I really don't know what is.
That's just a sign I will never move to Chicago. What the fuck? Hey, respectfully, gang, I know what it's like to feel like having niggas who are not from where you're from shit on where you're from. So take this with the biggest chunk of respect. Chicago is a shithole. And I've been to Chicago. I was on the downtown side of Chicago where shit is nice. But like, bro, if your cops can't even solve crimes and your mayor's an incompetent fool with a mohawk and he's damn near 40 years old, I don't know what to tell you.
Anyway, despite having nothing to do with Melly's death, Durk would seemingly keep dissing Melly in his songs, like rapping a bar asking how someone can get killed while partying in his December 2020 song Refugee, and rapping in his intro song for the January 2021 album The Voice that since the person who killed his cousin is dead, he can finally rest, as well as seemingly calling Melly his favourite op, who's now dead, in the August 2020 song Bad Guys by the former OTF rapper Timo. Dthang, on the other hand, would tweet in June 2020 how every op that ever shot him is now dead, and that he walks around with 50k in jewelry in his hood, with Chiracologists taking this to mean that Baby D's killer was now dead too. For Dthang, the shooting that killed Baby D was a near fatal moment, and should have probably served as his final warning to get as far away from Chicago as possible. But unfortunately, this was not the case, as Dthang would seemingly keep returning to his hometown time and time again, until finally in the summer of 2021, his luck would indeed run out. It was only 2 days after Durk hit another career high, releasing his #1 collaboration album with Lil Baby, Voice of the Heroes, during the early morning hours of the 6th of June, when Dthang was out partying in the city of Harvey, which is in the far south side of the greater Chicago area. He was reportedly attending a strip club called Club O, located in the middle of the city's industrial district. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, who would seemingly confuse Dthang to be a rap artist like his brother, they would explain that the shooting that killed Dthang involved multiple guns, and even a police officer who was nearby when the shooting started, an officer who would actually get hit in their thigh during the chaos. Unfortunately, Dthang would be shot in the head, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Another OTF member called Trail had seemingly been at the club with Dthang, and he too would get shot during the altercation, but would survive, later posting a thank you message to the people who had been concerned about him, as well as paying tribute to Dthang and saying that he put his life on the line for him. Soon following Dthang's death, there would be another deadly shooting, only an 8-minute drive away from the club, which the police would consider to be a possible retaliation, the victim in this shooting being a 39-year-old named Sanika Price. But there has since seemingly been no updates about this get-back theory. From here, the media and fans would find out about Dthang's death, and Reddit would light up with questions and theories, with many wondering why someone as famous and wanted as Dthang, who had so much at stake with so many enemies, would risk going out partying at such a risky location.
But bro, that's what I be saying, bro. Like, I'm not, bro, I swear to God, bro. It's so hard not to say this shit without sounding disrespectful, bro. You niggas are fucking stupid, bro. Why do y'all niggas treat this shit like a goddamn video game? Bro, you got niggas gunning for your head, and you're like, man, I'm gonna go chill at a club and get liquored up. I'm gonna go chill and try to get some bitches who can backdoor me. What the fuck is wrong with you niggas, bro? Why the fuck do I move more tact than you niggas? You niggas are in the street. You niggas need to move tact. I don't even need to do the shit. Bro, nah, bro, this shit actually pissing me off. I ain't gonna lie. This shit actually making me mad.
The internet would quickly turn into a hub for speculation, as amateur sleuths pieced together their own theories about what might have led to the murder, with some theories speculating that Dthang had been killed due to his alleged past as a shooter for his Dog Pound set. These theories revolving particularly around Dog Pound's beef with a set called Dump Street, also known as Gutter Gang or Nate Block, sets that are part of the so-called No Love City alliance formed between numerous majority gangster disciple sets around Inglewood. As mentioned earlier in this video, No Dump Street, also known as Gutter Gang or Nate Block, sets that are part of the so-called No Love City alliance formed between numerous majority gangster disciple sets around Inglewood. As mentioned earlier in this video, No Love sets have been beefing with the BD sets from Inglewood, like Lamron and Dog Pound, since at least the early 2010s. Redditors would speculate that Dthang's murder was get back for the 2013 murder of a man called 8Ball, real name Marcus Rush, who was allegedly part of a set called CMB or Crazyville. This set having years-long ties with Dump Street, while having had at least a decade-long beef with the Dog Pound. Dthang himself having dissed the set all the way back in 2014, with the wildest theories even claiming that it was Dthang himself who had actually killed 8Ball, while the most attuned drill whisperers would reveal that many members of 8Ball's set had allegedly been posting tributes to him right after Dthang's murder, with some of these tributes still seemingly being available online. However, many would question the rumors about Dthang being a killer, as he had always presented himself as more of a businessman than a bona fide shooter, although Dthang himself would change his Twitter handle to Dthang 2 times in 2017. Now, the number and X combination typically symbolizes in the drill culture the number of bodies a person had caught, with the other Dthang from the 600 set using the same combination to seemingly claim 3 bodies. But whether Dthang himself had been behind the murder or not, he had certainly been dissing both CMB and Dump Street, aka Gutter Gang, before his death, making sure that he still had enemies in his hometown. Dthang had seemingly also indicated that the younger generation of CMB and Dump Street had been dissing Lil Durk and OTF, saying that he doesn't even know them and that all his ops are dead already. And after Dthang's death, CMB would seemingly return the favor by posting slick comebacks, as one member would post on his Facebook the morning after how Chief Keef had been the smart one to leave Chicago with all his friends, as they were all still alive, while another member would post how the BDs might run the industry, but the GDs still run the streets. This was followed a few days later with another member posting how they'll get into it with anyone, together with an 8-ball emoji, while another member would post how all their ops are dead. Meanwhile, some Redditors have claimed that Dthang was killed because he had been bragging about putting money on Duck's head while being in the club that was frequented by the GDs. But whether Dthang's murder was connected to the war that had been going on around his old neighborhood for years, or to something else. Not long after his death, this war would seemingly continue to claim lives, as on July the 10th, 2021, 2 men would be sprayed with bullets during a fatal incident at a Clark gas station in Inglewood. These men turned out to be a 20-year-old named Jalen Anderson and a 33-year-old called Jamie Hawkins, who were better known in the streets as Gutter Gang J-Ski and Gutter Gang Oil. Paperwork posted online by the watermark enthusiast Chusky the Real would reveal that a Jeep Cherokee had parked in the gas station for several minutes, but when Anderson and Hawkins had pulled into the gas station, at least one occupant of the Jeep would begin shooting at them before the car would flee the scene, and a search for its license plates would reveal that it was a stolen vehicle. Curiously, only a few days after this double murder, Lil Durk would make a cryptic post to his Instagram story with a picture of his brother, together with the caption, "Do it for Dthang," as the post would be shared on Reddit soon after. One Chiracologist would comment that they had heard that OTF had indeed gotten that get back, while another commenter would identify J-Ski and Oil as the reason for Durk making the post. Around the same time as Lil Durk would make this post, Dthang's baby mother would also make an Instagram story with a picture of Dthang, this time accompanied by the song Lick Back by the rapper ESDG, a song that essentially describes the need for always getting your revenge. These posts would prompt many Redditors to believe that OTF was indeed behind this gas station hit, but violence would continue to follow Durk from here, and just a month after his brother's passing and a few days after the gas station shooting, a strange shootout episode would take place at Durk's home in Brazelton, Georgia.
Oh yeah, that's when him and India had that shootout.
Unidentified
Yo,
invaders.
that's some Mr. and Mrs. Smith shit, boy.
Would break in with unknown motives in the middle of the night. Apparently Durk and his partner India would reportedly fight back by shooting at the intruders, but seemingly everyone would survive the shootout without any serious injuries, but the intruders would actually escape the scene before the police arrived, and at this point there's been very little information about what this whole incident was about. If you ask me, timing is incredibly suspicious and may well have been in retaliation for those 2 murders that followed Dthang's death. After the home invasion, some months would pass, but in October, rapper Nardo Wick would release his smash hit Who Wants Smoke, featuring an all-star group of features including 21 Savage, G Herbo, and Lil Durk, together with a music video directed by the music
2
video
Chirac Savages and a friend. On me.
prodigy Cole Bennett. In his verse, Nardo Wick would rap a funny line about how he even pumps gas with his gun so his ops can't.
Hey, I do the same shit. If I'm in the streets, I'm clutching every fucking move I make. Are you crazy? Nigga, I'm clutching in the car. I'm clutching in the gas station. Nigga, I'm clutching in the store. Are you tripping? Yeah, I'm clutching everywhere I go. Are you stupid?
surprise him, something which Dirk would then reference in his own verse, but adding how listeners
niggas die for pumping gas. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about when he said that. I ain't gonna lie. I guess I'm not as tapped in as I thought I was.
Nardo says, because people will die while pumping gas, which seemed to be yet another reference to the murders of J-Ski and Oil at the gas station. This was followed about a week later with Dirk's song Pissed Me Off, which he would begin by paying tribute to his brother and seemingly saying they got back for him. Dirk would then rap several bars about his need for a revenge after losing people close to him, even specifically mentioning how he can not feel happy until he gets back for his bro, something that seems to say a lot about his mindset at the time. Dirk would then even directly reference the shootout that happened in his home, which makes me think he's letting us know that this was indeed connected to those cases. However, so far, Dirk's rumoured hints about the alleged get back for his brother had been relatively vague compared to the self-snitching extraordinaires of modern day drill music like Lil Jeff and Q50. But on the 27th of January 2022, the plot would thicken considerably as 24-year-old Stefan Mack was killed after leaving a youth peace centre in the Roseland neighbourhood, located in the far south side of Chicago. Before the tragedy would strike, Stefan, who was also known as Youngin, was visiting the youth centre where he was reportedly an active participant. Meanwhile, a black Chrysler would enter the centre's parking lot with two men waiting inside the vehicle for about 40 minutes, seemingly waiting for Stefan to exit the centre. Then, at around 3 PM, when Stefan would step outside and begin to walk towards his car, two masked men would exit the Chrysler and begin shooting at him, with Stefan attempting to flee by running in the opposite direction. One of the shooters, armed with a Ruger AR-556 semi-automatic rifle, would chase Stefan across the parking lot before shooting him from a distance, which would cause Stefan to collapse on the ground near train tracks, where the shooter would run up to him and finish the job. Shortly after, the youth centre's security guard would step outside to find out what was causing the noise, which would prompt the second assailant to shoot him in the leg with a handgun. The shooters would then abandon the Chrysler in the parking lot and escape on foot. The security cameras capturing one of the assailants with a heavy build running away from the scene. And later that day, police would recover the Ruger AR rifle from the backyard of a vacant residence located nearby. Sometime after Stefan's murder, Dirk and an OTF member called Chug would once again make suggestive posts on their Instagram stories, both using the caption "For Dthang," with Dirk also using the name of his recent song, Aha, which at this point hadn't even been released yet, while Chug would refer to something being a sad case. Not long after, at the beginning of February, one Chiraccologist would post these stories to Reddit, whilst also linking them to the murder of Stefan, who the poster claimed to be a member of the set Smashville 85th, whilst also allegedly having connections with the so-called Melly Way that's named in honour of 051 Melly, with some even claiming that Stefan was in fact Melly's cousin. Smashville is located around 85th Street in the Auburn-Gresham neighbourhood in the far south side of the city, far away from the childhood stomping grounds of Dthang and Dirk in Inglewood. However, the set is affiliated with the Dump Street, aka Gutter Gang, from West Inglewood, who have been rumoured to be behind Dthang's murder. There weren't initially many theories about who were the two people behind the murder, but unbeknownst to the public at the time, the alleged killers were making sneaky references to their crimes on social media. For example, on the 15th of February, a man called Mike City AJ would post on his Facebook how his set had been spanking their ops so much that they're about to give up. As his name indicates, Mike City AJ has ties to a set called Mike City, or Mike Block, also known as Gator Gang, a BD set located on 86th and Morgan, which is named in honour of their fallen member Mike, who was killed in 2012. Lamron and Taytown have seemingly been affiliated with Mike City for at least a decade at this point, and AJ himself has clearly been close with Taytown members on social media for a while, even seemingly appearing in a March 2021 music video of TTE Day Day, who's one of Dirk's oldest friends from Taytown. A YouTuber called Kenny Rogers, who claims to be from the same neighbourhood, would open up about AJ's childhood and reputation in the streets, telling how AJ and other young'uns from Mike City were like sicarios, a private army for hire with a feared reputation, who would eventually get affiliated with OTF members such as Booney Mo.
Watch this and did what we did. You know, but AJ, they decided, like, they like sicarios. You know what I'm talking about? Like a private army for hire. You know what I'm saying? Now, we warned them about that because when the guys came out there trying to connect and all that, like, no, we've been holding our own. What's like the, we know what y'all on. Y'all ain't finna use them. But, you know, the younger guys got into too many, you know, they wanted to make a name for themselves. They wanted to hang around because of their name and shit like that. But we was telling them, y'all bigger than them.
On the 21st of February, less than a month after Stefan Mack's murder, Dirk would drop his music video for the song Aha, which was filmed in Chicago. Later on, online detectives would notice that in one of the Instagram stories posted by people who were at the video shoot, you can see someone who looks a lot like Mike City AJ, showing that he was indeed possibly connected all the way to the very top of the OTF hierarchy.
Alright, bet.
But what people would also notice were the rather revealing lyrics that Dirk was dropping in the song. First, he would begin with a disclaimer saying how everything he's about to say is just entertainment and not real. Dirk then mentions how his shooters have been sliding through their ops block block, but the ops don't even know it, and that someone from the ops side got shot, and while Dirk didn't claim it, he can show them proof. Dirk would then seemingly be done with beating around the bush, as he would explicitly state how he's been heavy on the downers since Dthang got killed, but they already got back for him, and that their ops know it, but they don't post on social media so the police don't find out. Dirk would then seemingly change his mind about this all being just entertainment, as he would swear on his brother's life that everything he's speaking is facts and not just a diss. Dirk would then end his first verse by saying how people might say that he's just a singer so he won't kill anyone, but he doesn't care what they think because he got their friend shot. The hook of the song would even acknowledge that Dirk's activities will put him in jail, rapping he's dropping locations and getting revenge, and that the feds will soon come. It seems that Dirk was sending a lot of messages with this song, but likely only the people involved in these Chicago gang wars would truly understand. But what he was clearly putting out there for the whole world to see was that his brother Dthang's death was still weighing heavily on his mind, and that for him, this in fact was not just entertainment. Meanwhile, in May 2022, a rapper from the Dump Street or Gutter Gang called GG Juju would release his song titled Don't Be a Fool, where he would seemingly diss Dthang by rapping how he will not be searched when going to a club, before mentioning how that is how a fool got killed, and saying that if people mention Gutter Gang, they're going to end up on the news. Juju would also seemingly diss Dirk, saying how some people were always acting too tough on their songs and always rapping about switches and drakes, but that they got them too. This likely being a reference to Dirk literally having a song titled Switches and Drakes. After this, some time would pass, but on the 6th of June 2022, exactly 1 year after Dthang's passing, Dirk would make another cryptic post on his Instagram story quoting lyrics about someone getting hit and how certain people are only known in the city because of their friends who got killed. But instead of signing the post with his usual moniker, The Voice, he would sign it this time as The Pump, which some internet sleuths would believe to be yet another sign that Dirk was making a reference to the murders of J-Ski and Oil taking place at a gas station pump. Meanwhile, Dirk's friend and OTF member Booney Mo would post a much clearer message simply stating F the dump, this seeming like a rather obvious reference to the Dump Street set. The following month in July, Dirk and the rapper Lil Zay Osama would release the song F My Cousin Part 2.
Lil Zay Osama. Isn't he dead too? Yeah. When did he die? Nigga, he's not dead. What the hell? Oh yeah, he's definitely not dead. That nigga is alive and well in fucking prison. Holy shit. Well, at least he ain't dead. We can be thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
And this time, Dirk wouldn't hold back one bit, rapping a direct threat to his ops that if they were even at the scene when his brother was killed, they're going to die too, before mentioning specifically his ops from the west, with Dump Street being located directly to the west of Taytown and Lamron, saying how 2 of their members died immediately after Dthang's death. At this point, it seemed obvious that if Dirk wasn't directly claiming the hit of J-Ski and Oil, he was at least dissing them openly. And then, in December, Booney Mo would release his single, titled For Real, together with a lavish music video that was posted on Dirk's YouTube channel. And in the song, Booney would repeat Dirk's bar about 2 people dying the next day, whilst also seemingly referring to the shooting that killed Dthang as fluky, which some believe supports the idea that Dthang might not have even been killed on purpose and was in fact simply hit by a ricocheting bullet. This theory also being supported by the news report about the shooting, with the police describing how Dthang was simply caught amongst a barrage of bullets. In April 2023, On A Couch TV would post a hood vlog with none other than Dump Street. But interestingly, they were also joined by the rapper 85th Lil Smoke, who just so happens to be from Smashville, the very hood where Stefan was allegedly from, showing that these sets were indeed very close with each other. In the comments of the video, one viewer would ask On A Couch TV to ask him about Dthang, but he would reply calling that
Bro said federal. Bro said you're moving mad fast.
Federal, before saying that he knew that they wouldn't answer questions about that anyway. But still, On A Couch would seize the moment and ask them about Dirk, inquiring whether they considered Dirk to be the voice of Chicago, which would surprisingly receive a rather cordial response from the crew, who say he's a good rapper, but he's not the voice of the streets, and that he can't stop the gang war.
So how y'all feel about Dirk basically taking the title as the voice of the Chicago, like what he say was go on in the trenches?
No, shit, what you mean?
He can rap.
He can rap. I ain't lying. But voice of what trenches? Ain't nobody run. Nobody run.
Twin, he ain't say voice of the trenches. He said voice of the streets. There's a street in every trench, but there ain't a trench in every street. You dig what I'm saying? He said he the voice of the streets. That mean the ghetto streets, the rich streets, and everything in between.
You feel me?
I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's what he said.
You're a good rapper.
You know, he can rap.
Well,
he can sing. Voice hell, he ride probably his side of town. All of them. But when you speak,
He from that side.
He ain't doing rapping and everybody can relate to it.
Because he was basically saying, like, if somebody like him came down and wanted to bring peace in Chicago, like, it actually happened.
That's happened, man, because too much blood shit in the city.
yeah, ain't nobody.
Like, he ain't gonna like it. You can come in your hood, show what the want you with, nah, yeah, but
do that.
you ain't no, you can't do that for you.
Ain't
You
no-
can't talk
ain't
for
no
everybody.
structure like
You
that.
need to talk for you.
Meanwhile, Dirk would keep hinting at the get back for Dthang in his songs, like in the track Pellicoat that he would drop in May as part of his Almost Healed album, where he would once again rap how 2 people had died after Dthang's murder. A few months later, on the death day of J-Ski and Oil, a member of a set called Melt Gang, who were affiliated with Dump Street aka Gutter Gang, would finally send a clear message back to Dirk by posting an Instagram story with a caption that he was smoking on Dthang. In response, a member of Faceworld 079 aka Nooski Gang, who were affiliated with Dog Pound and close to Dirk, would share a post about the murders of Oil and J-Ski to his Instagram profile, together with Lil Durk's Pellicoat song, and specifically the part of the song that says how 2 people died after Dthang's death, while his very next post would say that Oil and J-Ski were his favourite people to smoke. The dissing between these two alliances had now gone far beyond small subliminal jabs to damn near federal public confessions, but things were about to get a lot more interesting, because in October 2023, Mike City AJ, real name Anthony Montgomery Wilson, together with another man called Marley, real name Preston Powell.
Damn, rip them niggas. I already know AJ died because that other nigga was talking about that nigga in the past tense. Man, yeah, AJ was. Why you saying was, bruh? Only niggas only talk like that if a nigga ain't still breathing.
Be charged with the murder of Stefan Mack, but this was no ordinary state charge. This was a federal charge, and this was no typical murder charge either. This was a murder for hire. Yes, murder for hire in 2023, as the feds would allege that AJ and Marley had been in contact with someone in another state who had promised them a reward for the murder of Stefan. Following these charges, AJ would be arrested and taken into custody, but Marley would seemingly make a run for it, with the FBI releasing a
hired by someone from another state to commit the murder. Damn, Dirk, you're cooked.
Wanted poster for him, and even local news reporting on his attempt to avoid the law. At the time, it was already clear that
damn, what the fuck? Yo, that was in January of this year, bro. That's almost a year ago. That'll be a year ago in like 6 days, bro. Holy shit. What the fuck? And that was this year, bro. Crazy how time flies. Anyway.
He would be arrested and taken into custody, but Marley would seemingly make a run for it, with the FBI releasing a wanted poster for him, and even local news reporting on his attempt to avoid the law. At the time, it was already clear that the feds were holding any information regarding this case close to their chest, as the file docket for the case is full of sealed documents. But the reason for this would be revealed in December 2024, as the feds would suddenly unseal more documents related to the case in the lead up to Dirk's detention hearing in the Lil Pab case, including an application for a search warrant in Texas, and more importantly, an affidavit in support of that application. This affidavit, which dates all the way back to April 2023, would reveal explosive information that the feds were indeed investigating Lil Durk's connection to the murder of Stefan Mack. The affidavit would provide numerous interesting details about Mack's murder, including the fact that Mike City AJ had done a C-Day and left his phone at the crime scene, and that while at the crime scene,
I don't know what the fuck done a C-Day means, but that was fucking stupid.
He'd also been calling Marley by name, while after the murder, the two
bro, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Openly discussing their upcoming payment from Lil Durk, and after seemingly receiving the payment, AJ had been bragging about it and claiming the hit on social media by posting himself with a big stack of cash, together with the lyrics from Lil Durk's Aha song, with findings like these prompting Chiracologists online to
I know exactly what this post says. Pure Tardium.
How Dirk had hired the dumbest assassins on Earth.
On God, bro, because you will have to be dumb as shit. Why the fuck are you saying my name? Bro, I ain't gonna lie. You kind of gotta blame Dirk for that one. You could at least told the little niggas like, yo, I'm fucking Wolf Den, nigga. I'm Wolf Den, you fatback. Nah, I can't call you fatback. That's too obvious of who you're supposed to be. I'd actually have them switched. Fatback would be the little nigga, and Slim would be the big nigga. Fatback is Slim, but Fatback is the skinny nigga and Slim is the fat nigga. So that way they be confused. Yeah, Fatback!
To do the job. An employee of the youth center would also allegedly reveal to the feds that the killers had been tipped off about Mack's location by 2 brothers from a set called Risky Road, who seemingly knew Marley, aka Powell, as he lived in their hood at the time of the crime. But the paperwork would also reveal some interesting background information. For example, the feds would claim that Mack was not only affiliated with Smashville, but according to their informant, he was in fact the set's leader. Another informant, on the other hand, would claim that Lil Durk was offering money for the murder of those responsible for his brother's death, and even for the murder of any gangster disciple in general. The same informant would also reveal that Dump Street had indeed been behind Dthang's murder, and that Mack had been a close associate with a Dump Street member who the feds referred to as Individual A. Individual A would turn out to be a man named Diamani Green, who had been arrested in December 2021 for an unrelated double murder, and who would be better known in the streets as Gutter Gang Puke, or simply GG Puke, as his rap name would be. Following the release of this paperwork, many would start to claim that GG Puke was in fact the Dump Street member responsible for the murder of Dthang, although the feds would not explicitly make this connection in the paperwork, as they would simply state that according to their informant, Dthang was killed by members, plural, of Dump Street, and that Puke, aka Individual A, was a close associate of Mac, not that Individual A killed Dthang. However, to many, it would seem that the feds were heavily alluding to Puke being the one responsible for the murder and the reason why Mac was ultimately killed. It's also worth noting that the Chiracologist had been alluding to a locked-up rapper from the Dump Street being responsible for Dthang's death even before the new paperwork, and after Puke's name would begin to circulate, the online sleuths would quickly uncover a 7-year-old Zack TV video showing Puke hanging out in Harvey, the very city where Dthang would eventually be killed. Meanwhile, Lil Durk's music has continued to provide more insights into the events related to his brother's death. In early 2024, his song called Survivor, or I Did It Without You, was leaked online, the lyrics seemingly describing why Durk would eventually fall out with his old set Lamron, siding fully with the Tay-Town instead, as Durk would seemingly insinuate that Lamron had not tried to retaliate after Dthang's death, and that if he catches any Dump Street members on Lamron's block, he's going to kill them and the Lamron members with them. Around the same time as this song would leak, Dump Street rapper GG Montana would post a snippet to his song where he appears to be taking shots at Durk, literally taunting him about Dthang's murder while saying that they're beefing with real rap goofies. For now, there's no charges against Durk in the murder of Stephon Mack, and it seems that these documents were unsealed more in an effort to prevent Durk from getting bail on the Lil Pab murder case. Ultimately, only time will tell if he will end up going down for his brother too. But what's most interesting is that if Durk was indeed using his rap money to pay for his enemies to be killed in the streets, from here, his career would only continue to rise, and rather suspiciously, so too would the body count, as more and more of those people who Durk had issues with would wind up dead, with Durk never missing an opportunity to jump on the mic and brag about these murders for the whole world to hear.